Hey everyone, before starting tonight's tale, I wanted to just thank you so much for your support and excitement about my channel. It's been immensely heartwarming and validating to see the vision I have is appreciated. I'll be giving away a free Nightmare Narrations t-shirt to a random entrant at the end of the month. All you need to do to enter is share this channel on your Facebook or Instagram and tag me in the post. The links to both my accounts are in the details, as well as the site, nightmarenarrations.com. If you want to just order one at the link below, I'd greatly appreciate it as well. And with that, let's start the story. I just found out why the kids in my town are brutally killing their parents. Part 2. The final part. Before I could shut the door, his chilling words followed me. And your brother. Finn's laugh turned hysterical, almost inhuman, and I could hear the sound of him slamming his head into the bars. Don't forget your brother. I was immediately dragged out of the sheriff's office and lectured by Mom for a whole 2 hours. But sitting in my living room with my mother yelling at me, with half of the precinct surrounding her, I couldn't get Finn's words out of my head. It was when Mom was gesturing to me, her lips moving but no sound coming out, when I snapped out of it, only to be slammed with another lecture on privacy and illegal entrance. I ignored all of that, cross-legged on the couch next to Noah, who was pretending to be on her phone, and decided to finally open my mouth. I think it's the curse, I said, cutting into Mom's third or fourth threat regarding my phone privileges. That was when the room went silent, and Mom looked startled for a moment before shaking her head. That is not what we are talking about, young lady. Do you understand the severity of what you have done? Yeah, Mara, Freddie spoke up from across the room. Like Noah, he was doing a bad job of pretending he wasn't loving every second of me being berated. I can't believe you would be so careless and stupid. He drifted off. Oh wait, didn't you break in last month to steal documents on the Daniels case? His smile pricked. Now I'm pretty sure that was also, illegal. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just a high schooler. I don't sneak into the sheriff's office when I'm supposed to be at school. I glared at him. How do you even know that? You go through my phone. He shrugged, comfortably adjusting himself on the recliner. Your passcode is 4 zeros. A toddler could bypass it. I don't know if it was the stress of what happened with Finn or my brother's dumb fucking grin, but I was already lunging across the room too. I don't know. He's taller than me and more built. He could squash me if he really wanted to. So, what I thought was going to be a fight turned into me trying to cause some damage with him, and Freddie just shoving me away with a scoff. I did manage to hit him in the nose, but that was where Mom came in, pulling us apart and going into mom mode. Mom mode was when she really got mad. Noah decided she no longer wanted to be a spectator and wandered into the kitchen. I was sent to my room, and Freddie was lectured for antagonizing me. Several hours later, he appeared at my door with a half-eaten donut, a cup of hot cocoa, and a half-assed apology, which was his attempt at letting me know that he was scared I was going to get myself hurt. I took the donut and the cocoa and told him to go away. He did after a while of standing there looking like a kicked puppy. I closed the door on his face when he made a point of trying to make me feel sorry for him. I wanted to talk to him about Finn, but he would just tell Mom and get me into trouble. So, I found myself with information which was driving me crazy. My 18th birthday was approaching, and more kids were turning on their moms and dads. After Finn, it was Addie, and then Jason, Sarah, and Kiara, all of which had turned 18 weeks between each other. I thought the town was going to start freaking out and calling those of us who were left monsters, insisting that we never should have been born. But to my surprise, there was barely any news coverage, and it almost became normal to hear about yet another kid being sent to juvenile detention. June arrived, and the days crept by faster and faster until it was the eve of my 18th birthday, and I had found myself standing in my bathroom, my trembling fingers wrapped around a razor blade. Every time I thought about actually doing it though, slicing into my flesh until my wrists were dripping, pooling scarlet, and I was struggling to breathe. I couldn't, so I dumped the razor in the trash and left the bathroom, only to run into Noah, wrapped in her pink bathrobe. My little sister looked like a giant marshmallow, hiding behind scraggly blonde curls. Mara, Noah was grinning ear to ear as usual. She grabbed my hands and squeezed them. "Do you remember what we did as kids?" From the look on her face, I knew exactly what she was talking about. When Mom was in bed or at work on our birthday eve, the three of us would scour her room for presents. We had grown out of it eventually, but every year Noah insisted on at least one search. It's not like I could refuse when my sister already had a tight grip of my arm and was yanking me into Mom's room. When I stumbled inside, I found our brother on his knees under Mom's bed, rifling through boxes and bags. I was surprised Noah had managed to drag Freddie into it, considering every other year he rolled his eyes and bid us adieu, calling Noah a baby. Now though, he was just as enthusiastic as he was when he was a little kid and used to shush us and turn it into a game. I would take one corner, Noah would take the closet, and Freddie would crawl under the bed, because he was the only one who wasn't scared of monsters hiding under there. For a moment, I considered just walking away and saying they were being stupid and acting like children. But I did want to forget about the reality of turning 18 and possibly murdering my family. In a way, I guess I wanted to be a kid again. So just like when I was 5, I wandered over to the furthest corner to search for presents which did not exist. I knew they didn't exist because Mom gave us cash every birthday inside our card. Still though, it was fun to search and have that childlike magic come over me again. The thrill of pulling things aside and delving inside boxes for hidden treasures, dolls we wanted, or the newest game console. To make Noah happy, I shoved a few things aside, finding myself smiling. Mom was always bad at hiding our presents. I was about to make that comment when Noah squeaked in delight, "I found something." When I twisted around, she was already partially inside the closet, one foot sticking out, her head buried in Mom's clothes. It looked like she was grasping into something. Freddie, who had crawled out from under the bed, straightened up, shooting me a look. "Really?" his eyes said. "Aren't we a little too old for this?" "We are," I mouthed back. His grin transported me back to when we were 9, and the two of us had collectively found 5 wrapped gifts and had spent an hour shaking them to try to figure out what they were. But there was also that glimmer of excitement in his eyes when he joined Noah in front of the closet. The two of them managed to heave out what looked like a large box. I joined them, hesitantly. "Any idea what it is?" I frowned at the box the two of them were struggling to get a proper hold of. It was huge, almost the size of the closet itself. When Freddie and Noah had managed to balance it, the three of us stepped backwards to take it in, and immediately, something cold slithered down my spine. First, it was the state of the box. Old. The cardboard was rotting. Noah shrieked when a mountain of bugs crawled out of the flaps. Looking closer, it looked to be a box for a toy or a doll. But when I squinted, the box was open. It had been open a long time, and the more I looked, I was feeling progressively sicker. There was something tainting the cardboard, an old red painting, the flaps, and inside the thing itself. I was suddenly aware of things happening way too quickly for me to understand. A blur of movement to my right, which was Freddie dropping to his knees and barfing everywhere. And then Noah's figure stumbling out of the room. I could hear her screams. I could see my brother retching, but I couldn't tear my eyes away from the front of the box. Because on the front of the box was me, Mara. I was seeing a photo of me smiling widely, and colorful words printed on the box saying, "Now grows to full size, Mom's Net certified." The printed words on the box looked like a different language, though I was still reading it. Child trademark. Have you ever wanted your very own child? Well, now you can. Just pull out the cord, and you have your very own son/daughter. I was stepping forward when something moved. Freddie yanked me back, but I was delving inside my mother's closet and finding a much newer box. This one was unopened and occupied. A fully grown college-age guy peeking through plastic packaging. This time I saw the cord, like an umbilical cord connected to the thing inside the box, which was asleep. Its eyes were shut. Freddie, it said, this time in college. Before Freddie could see it, I shoved it back, stumbling, my heart in my throat. I was frowning at where all the blood was on the second box, staining the bottom, when my brother grabbed my hand and yanked me back. Before I could fully register what was going on, he was dragging me downstairs. I think he was trying to get me out of there, but then he stopped, sort of freezing in place. When I followed his gaze, I found 2 birthday cards set up on the mantelpiece. They were labeled in our mother's handwriting. The purple one was mine, while the pink one was Freddie's. I opened mine up, but instead of a $20 note slipping out, I found myself staring at a countdown being reflected onto my face in red light. 59, 58, 57. Below that, my dearest Mara, I am so happy I met you and was able to call you my daughter. I found you at the age of 17, but you have given me a lifetime of memories I will cherish. You will be running out very soon, and like the other moms, I don't want to see you go. I am supposed to be giving you back tomorrow, but we have each made a pact. With every child we obtained, every mother and father agreed that sending you back to those people would be terrible. Giving you to another mother would break my heart, sweetheart. I have heard your biological mother has never stopped searching for you. And trust me, she won't find you. So I'm not going to give you back. I do not support the company I got you from, but I have always wanted a child. And this town cannot have children. I have lost too many inside me to be hopeful. Happy birthday, my beautiful daughter, and goodbye, XXX. I'm not sure what emotions I felt at that moment, but I finally understood why Finn, Seth, and the others had killed their parents. I was wrong. There was a motive. Rage. What the fuck? Freddy dropped his card, his eyes wide. We need to get out. We need to fucking get out of here because whatever this thing is, it's gonna blow. My brother shook me. Are you listening to me? We need to get Noah and get the fuck out of here because whatever this thing is, it's gonna blow. Going to blow? I thought dizzily. Had Mom planted a bomb? There was no time to find it. No way to get out. I was nodding along with my brother, trying to find Noah, who had disappeared, when it hit me like ice-cold water. Finn, standing in the cells, with his eyes carved out of his skull, and Seth wearing Ray-Bans to cover his eyes. Every other kid I saw always wore sunglasses, always hid their eyes, with the countdown reflecting onto the wall, and Freddy screaming at me to find our sister. I wandered into the kitchen, pulled open our mom's prized knife drawer, and picked out the sharpest I could find. It had been driving me crazy since seeing the sheriff's son's mutilated face. Why he would do that to himself. Why he would kill his father and then carve out his own eyes. Part of me thought it really was a curse, which had taken them as some kind of reward. But I was wrong. Of course I was wrong. Finn Novak didn't scoop out his eyes because he was fucking crazy. He carved them out because he had gotten that exact birthday card, that exact countdown, and somehow he had known. Just like me as I stuffed my sweater sleeve into my mouth, that the bomb was part of us. Digging the blade into my eye and jerking it at an angle to sever it. I screamed into my sleeve, managing to choke out through sobs, begging my brother to do the same. The countdown was still in my head, and if I concentrated, I could hear it. The beep, beep, beep of the thing sandwiched inside me. It could have been either I or both, but I didn't have time to guess. I was on my knees when I managed to scoop out my eye with the teeth of the knife, and then my fingers. When the beeping stopped, I pressed my face into the kitchen floor and breathed in and out before using my sleeve to staunch the blood pooling down my face. My vision was severed, and I was pretty sure I was going to be blind, but it was better than being blown to pieces. Freddy was already in front of me, his eyes wide and confused, already clumsily grasping for the knife to do the same. "We're okay," my brother said in a hiss. He was already following my lead, biting into his sleeve and hovering the knife in front of his eye. Noah was in the doorway. I could see her shadow, and just seeing her, I knew she was trembling, too scared to come near either of us. I opened my mouth to try and reassure her, while helping Freddy sever the thing inside him, before pop. I heard it first, an audible popping in my ear. Noah screamed behind me, before something warm hit my face, warm and red and coating my eyes and cheeks. When I swiped startling red from my eyes and face, I found myself staring at glistening scarlet dripping from the walls and slick on the floor, the countertop, everything. I reached out for my brother, who wasn't there anymore. The birthday card which I had opened was still on the ground, and I could still see my mother's message. And 18 years worth of birthday cards came over me, each one all saying that exact same ironic message. "I'm glad you didn't explode." Whatever my fake mother did to get me, I don't care. I don't care if I'm some artificially grown freak who was born at 17 years old. I have already raided my kitchen for the best knives I can find. So I can find my mother and father and fucking kill them